Hello guys and welcome to another video. At the time I'm recording this, we just came back home from Mannheim. The Crash It event was a total blast, we had lots of fun, met so many new and old people. So thanks again for Daniel and his family for making this possible. To be honest, I'm a little tired and exhausted from the weekend, so please excuse if I'm not that woohoo! But I will come back highly motivated within the next week, so I just need some rest. But yeah. Finally, I want to show you a little project which I kept, pretty secret over the past weeks. I just showed you some little pictures of it. The reason behind that is that I was working on some patent forms, and until they not completed, I wasn't able or not allowed to talk about the project publicly. But finally, everything went through, so it's in the patent pending process. And I'm able to talk about the project, and I'm super curious and happy to show you the final result, or let's say the final prototype series of the hi-hat stand. To be honest, it kept me awake for the past weeks, and especially last week, because I was working on these two hi-hat stands until Wednesday at night, so we were leaving, or Thursday night, and we were leaving on Friday morning. But luckily everything worked out, and I was able to show the hi-hat or present the hi-hat stand to the audience at the Crash It. So what is it all about? I knew from lots of people, from several emails, that people were looking for a matching hi-hat stand to the Darwins, but I always said I'm unsure about it, and I will never say never, but I also cannot say when, because I didn't want to do something like everyone else does and think that's nothing special and nothing necessary. That's the better way to just make some longboard kits matching to the Darwin for any other hi-hat, which is a future idea, to be honest. But I always had this idea or this interest back in my mind, so over the time I was developing a concept in my mind. The other night I switched on the computer and started to work on some construction over a few weeks, and then I was able to just start with the first prototypes, build the first hi-hat stands, and develop the whole project a little bit by accident. And the final result, or let's say the general concept I wanted to have, is a most compact, most universal hi-hat stand with let's say broken down to just the necessary parts. By accident, it turned out to be an extremely lightweight project. So the whole hi-hat stand is just about 2 kilograms, I think 1.92 kilograms at the moment, compared to any other hi-hat stand, which is about 4.5 to 6 kilograms. It is pretty light. It got from the audience at the Crash It got the side name or nickname the scooter, because it looks a little bit like a folded scooter, obviously. To get it to work, all you need to do is just unpack the rod and turn it on this main part, so you get a solid connection between the tube and the main part at the ground. The next thing, usually the extended tube and the pulling rod is separated if you want to have it pretty compact. So usually you need to carry the tube and the upper part of the pulling rod separately. I didn't want to have this, so I managed to be able to have the pulling rod inside the lower part, and to get it to work you need to pull it out and turn it counterclockwise, and then it forms a straight line with the lower part, and actually it's good to go. In the last step, all you need to do is, like you know it, pull out the extension tube to the height you want to have it. If the handle looks like this of some sort, I'm always terrified of quirky handles, so you can just pull the handle off, and then you can twist it to the position you like to have, so it always lines up straight and flat. So now you have a pretty decent hi-hat stand if you want to attach it to a rack or to a cymbal stand with a multi-clamp, but it doesn't like to be, or doesn't look like it works as an independent unit. So I didn't want to have any legs over here, which are just massive in the way and doesn't look that cool. And since I have a pretty tight and solid connection from the carbon tube over here to the main part down here, I was able to just put the legs in the base plate in between the base plate and the footboard, and you can just pull it out to every position you need them, or you want to have them, if you need them, on some double pedals, or let's say if you use it with a rack, it's mostly not necessary to use any legs. But here you can just pull them out, and then you can twist them to every position you like to have. Actually, it's also not necessary to pull them out to the fullest. You can have them like this, for example, or like this. So there are multiple options in the position, and with locking them, you get a very stable and stiff setup. Actually, the lag layout took me a while to figure out how I could do it. I got the final inspiration by just looking at some vintage hi-hat stand and also all this flat bass hardware, which has also, yeah, like the name said, a flat layout. The main problem with that was that it's not possible to fit any cables underneath. So one more thing I did with these legs, I made some space to fit a standard XLR cable underneath the legs, so only the spot in the front has contact with the ground. If you use a pretty thick carpet or the ground is very uneven, you have the option to pull out or to turn out these screws here in the front. First, they really stick into the ground so the hi-hat won't move, and also it lifts the front part until the back end of the ground, so you're only standing on 3 independent positions, so it's not possible to have it wobbly in some sort. Yeah, that's just a little side note, let's say. The spring adjustment itself just is like you know it from most other hi-hat stands, a standard screw. Over here I got a little inspired by the Darwin pedal spring adjustment, so I also wanted to have it a little clicky, so you have not a stepless adjustment, but an adjustment in pretty fine steps, and it keeps in, or it stays in place. Yeah, the footboard adjustment is also, or the footboard height adjustment is also possible, not in this prototype, but usually it can be done with a standard drum key. You can lose a screw over here. At the moment it's necessary to use an Allen key, and then you can adjust the height of the footboard independently from the rest of the hi-hat stand to be able to have it match to the Darwin pedal or whatever pedal you use. Yeah, and that's it. So I will just show you how you can get it back to transportation mode. Just fold in the legs. If you trained, it should not take any longer than 2 minutes. I'm a little tired at the moment, so sorry for taking a little longer. But yeah, push the legs back in. In the next step, you can just fold the extension tube. In the last step, you just need to twist the pull rod clockwise until it loses the contact to the lower part. Then you can just fold it in, and in the last step, unscrew the main tube, and then you can fold it, twist it again a little bit, and you're absolutely good to go, stable, can carry it wherever, whenever you want. Like the Darwin pedals, the basic setup will be available with a longboard, with a shortboard like you can hopefully see behind me, and also the lowboard. It will be available in the standard version, silver and black, like you can see it here, and also in an all black version, for the guys who like to play the all black Darwin to have a matching hi-hat stand. So yeah, I hope that's it with all the features. I hope I didn't forget anything. If so, some more information will show up on my homepage within the next days, probably a week. But yeah, as I said, it's just a little compact hi-hat stand, which turned out to be working pretty good and is also on the lightweight side. As usual, if you have any questions, feel free to write a comment, write an email, write me on Facebook, wherever you prefer. I'm always happy to talk about this concept and other ideas and projects. So yeah, until then, have a nice week and see you soon. Cheers!